Hello everybody, this is Dino over GTO, and this is a video basically asking what the fuck is wargaming at? Why in the fuck would they put this thing back on sale whenever they have another tier 7 premium German TD? They could have easily switched with this thing just to make sure that this thing never had to go on sale again. The reason I'm so annoyed that this thing is on sale again is because this thing is going to destroy tier 5 to tier 8 matchmaking for probably about a week and a half. It's just going to be impossible to play below tier 7. Like tier 7s can kind of hold their own versus this thing if you know what you're doing. Tier 5s and 6, this thing is basically just telling you to go fuck yourself because you really can't do anything versus one of these in a tier 5 or tier 6 unless you get lucky in a KV2 and one shot it. There's like if this thing here gets close enough to a KV5, the KV5 cannot shoot it. The KV5 does not have enough gun depression to shoot down on one of these things. That's how low profile it is. Hell, this thing here, if you're on KV5, this thing here, if it gets to your side, the KV5 can't shoot you. If this thing gets to the side of a KV5, the KV5 cannot point his gun down far enough to shoot it. Same with the KV4 as far as I remember. And I think it might actually be almost true with the IS3, but I don't remember. No, actually, no, I don't think it's true with the IS3. I think the IS3 can actually hit this little like machine thing on top. But I really don't know what the hell they're playing at because from what I've heard, the next thing they're putting on sale after this is well, not after this, probably not exactly after this here, but one of the next things is rumored to be going on sale. And by the way, I heard this thing was going on sale from a rumor, and it turned out I was right. I actually mentioned it on a video that Circumflexes did on the Advent calendar. You may have noticed I stayed away from doing videos on the Advent calendar because I just felt like there's probably other people with more experience that could well, maybe not more experience. I've got 28,000 games under my belt, so but there are probably people who are going to be able to give you better opinions on like the bundles and stuff, and yeah. So here's the other thing that is actually wait, hang on, I'll just have it so that it's loading the game's website while I'm talking about it. Um, this is the other thing they're considering putting on sale. This is a leak from the French World of Tanks Twitter or Facebook page or whatever it is. They accidentally posted about the Su-76I instead of the E-25. So it looks like this thing's basically confirmed to be coming to the Advent calendar. Well, do you know what the main issue with this thing is? This is the time of year when you're more than likely going to have new players jumping in to play the game because they've seen it on YouTube or something to try the game out. And they're putting one of the most overpowered tier 3s in the game back on sale during that period. The Su-76I is effectively the Panzer II-J of tank destroyers except without armor. Instead it has a ridiculous gun. And it still has actually okay-ish armor for a tier 3. Like a Panzer II-J, as far as I'm aware, can't actually pen one of these. So, yeah. But this thing here going on sale is just a joke. And the only reason why this thing was okay before was because it was only ever put on sale once by mistake on EU. Only once, and it was for an hour. So there was like 1,000 people max who actually had it. So it's now going to be put on sale apparently according to this. I don't know. I can't actually read French. I don't know what this says, but if this is anything to go by, this thing is coming to the Advent calendar, and that's awful. But now I'm just going to talk about the E25 and why it's overpowered. First off, 2800 DPM. I am not a big DPM fan. I prefer Alpha over DPM if I'm honest. But, well, in most cases, I prefer Alpha over DPM. But there's some scenarios where it's different. But 2800 DPM with 2.88 second reload time, 150 pen, 135 damage shot, and 1.4 second aiming time, and 0.29 accuracy. This thing is one of the most consistent guns in the game. It's a premium tank. It will never meet tier 9s, I had to point that out. It will never ever meet tier 9s. It has a 360 view range, which is actually like, you remember its competitor, the Su-122-44. The Su-120-44 has 30 less view range, only has 10 more health, and this thing meets tier 9s. Sure, the Su has more pen and has more DPM, but this isn't really an effective DPM. Chances are, if you're firing off the 7, nearly 8 rounds a minute this thing has, chances are at least 2 or 3 of the shots are going to miss because you have an absolutely horrific aiming time. You have awful dispersion. Well, like when you compare it to this, I mean, just look. Oh, oops. I mean, just look at that. Look at the gun stat differences. This thing has half the aiming time, and it only has 200 less DPM overall. And also, yeah, if you get tracked in it by one of these things, and you have a repair kit, you're dead. Unless somebody else comes to save you, you're dead. Like, that's just it. You can't do anything. It has an insane tank traverse, so you can't actually circle one of these. If it had like 20 tank traverse, you could actually kill one of these relatively easily, but it doesn't. It has 44, which means it doesn't have to fear anything. It has a 27 horsepower per ton ratio. This thing here has 15, so it's like over 10 less. This thing here is like 18 slower forward, and it's 7 slower in reverse. So the Su-122-44 is much slower overall. Sure, it has more armor, but the armor is only really worth anything whenever you're facing like tier 6s. Above tier 6, and chances are things aren't really going to bounce anymore. It has 840 health, as I said already. 840 health is enough. You can potentially still be two-shotted by an AS, as an example, in this thing. Also, here's the main balancing factor of the Su-122-44. When I initially looked at one of these for the first time ages ago, I looked at all the other stats, thought, oh my god, this is amazing, and then I saw this stat here. 4 degrees of gun depression. Gun depression is also another thing I don't really care about that much, but 4 degrees is such an awkward number. I can work with 3, I can work with 5, but 4 is such a weird number to have that I find it really awkward to actually use one of these things. Like, driving around with 4 degrees of gun depression, you're like halfway between, well, you are halfway between 3 and 5, so you can use positions that you can use with 3 degrees of gun depression, but you can't use positions at all which need 5 degrees of gun depression. So it just feels so weird to drive, and that honestly catches most people out. The crappy gun depression. E25, no such worries. It is 8 degrees. So yeah, this thing's totally overpowered. I don't understand what the fuck they've been smoking to put this thing back on sale. And by the way, the 50 hull armor. This thing here has so much angling and shit on it that this thing here is one of those machines that just bounces for no obvious reason. It'll just bounce shots, and you've no explanation as to why it bounced that shot. It's just totally RNG based. That's what this thing's armor is. It's RNG based. You'll have a shot in this thing with like a 76mm gun. You think, oh yeah, this'll kill it, and then the shot will bounce, and you have no idea why, and you're just like. And then it'll kill you because you just can't reload fast enough. Like, this is the last thing I really need to say. This thing here, as far as I remember, with the appropriate crew skills, which people likely have, and a rammer and vents. Let's see, rammer and vents. This thing here reloads in 2.48 seconds. That's nearly as fast as the in-clip reload on some light tanks. And also, do you see with those 3 little things? I haven't even put like chocolate or anything on it, so yeah. This thing now has 3,270 DPM. Over 3,000 DPM on tier 7. And if I put chocolate on it, it goes up to 3,400, and now it actually is, I think, faster than MX-12T's clip reload. So yeah, this thing's totally overpowered. Its DPM is just ridiculous. Aim time's ridiculous. It's stealthiest. It's one of the stealthiest tanks I think in the game, and it's just I don't understand why the heck they put this thing back on sale. The Su-122-44 though is not overpowered because it's a much bigger target. It's about near triple the size of an E25, I'd say. Sure, it has armor, but its armor's only really good versus like tier 6s and some tier 7s. its gun stats are horrific. It has bad gun depression, it has bad view range, and its only real advantage is that it's okay in terms of speed and it's okay armor and it's got the reasonable rate of fire. But as I said, the gun stats and the gun depression and all those mixed together mean that you can't really use this DPM very often. So yeah, this thing here I would say is balanced because of its awkwardness and its kind of situationalness. It's very situational in comparison to the E25, whereas the E25 can just do whatever the fuck it wants and just succeed. So yeah, this thing I don't understand what they were doing. All I know is that it was a terrible idea, and now we'll probably have to go out to kiss goodbye to Tier 7 matchmaking for probably a week or two, or maybe a month. Who knows at this point, because this is one of the most overhyped vehicles in the game. I hate it. I have one. I hate it. I don't like playing it at all. I have 90 games total, and I've owned it since it came out. Um, and this thing came out like 3 or 4 years ago, if you didn't know. So, yeah. Um, I, I don't have words, so I'm just going to end this now, and I will talk about this later, and something that is extremely worrying about this that has been kind of shown off, but they haven't really talked about too much in this. They've just kind of shown a picture of it and then just kind of dropped it. That there's one machine in this here that they're considering adding that really like scares me for the like, future of this game. So yes, keep watching for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.